Hello and welcome to this short video about Jaguar XK8 and fitting the left-hand side cam covers. This is episode 13 in my series of videos detailing how I change my cam chains, tensioners, etc. In this episode I'm going to go through the tightening sequence for the cam covers and a way of finding the orientation of the coil pack if you can't identify that. Okay, first of all, the tools I used were a ratchet, a screwdriver, extension, articulated joint. I needed a short range torque driver, screwdriver, pair of grips, and a spark plug spanner. 16 mil AF for checking the spark plug gaps. Didn't necessarily have to do that. We'll go into that in a minute. Some automotive gasket sealant, 7mm, 8mm and 10mm sockets. Okay, so starting point, obviously I've changed all the cam chains and timing gear and I'm putting everything back together, as you can see here. So first of all you need to clean up I cleaned up the seal surface. This is how it was before, and after rubbing with some of the cloth, it came up pretty good, I think. Okay, next applied sealant to the two sealing points. This is the difference between the engine and the outer casing. These 2 points here, you need to add a little bit of gasket sealant to fill the potential gap. So I did this. It's 3mm diameter, 12mm long, just basically covering this gap, both top and bottom. Now you've slide the cam cover over, trying not to smear the adhesive, and you basically tied it up with M10 on these ones with the points on, which attach the engine cover, and 8mm for the ones without. Okay, now here's a sequence. Oh, sorry, before I go into sequence, there's the two back bolts are particularly nasty. You need the extension and the joint. The one here is particularly bad. You can get at it with an extension and an articulated joint. You need to tie it to between 11 and 13 newton meters, I believe. That's what I used. Okay, here's a sequence. So you start in the middle with these spark plug fixing in the center of it. So 1, 2, and you work through the middle, 3, 4. So you got it all fixed in the middle now, and you work side to side, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see you've got the middle all done. Work up to 9, 10, 11, 12. So it basically goes from the middle outwards to try and not retain any residual stress in the cover as you tighten up. Okay, now you need to. I fitted or checked my spark plug gaps. It's actually 1.3mm, but you need a 16mm spark plug spanner and tie them up to 28 newton meters or roughly. I then assembled all 4 coil packs. I had previously numbered all the coil packs 1, 2, 3, 4, so they went identical position than they started off with. So you need a 7mm socket, tighten each nut up to 5 newton meters, and then you attach the harness back on, and there's 2 clipping points here and behind the 5 over there. Push them forward. Put on the oil breather pipe, just push that, just clips back on, and then start attaching the wiring harness back onto the cover. There's 2 points at the front, and there's one at the rear, just push down just out of sight over the corner here. Right, then when putting the coil pack cover back on, there's actually a moulding in the top here, which actually is directly behind the position where the wiring harness clips fit. Now this is to stop these coming up and rattling around accidentally. So make sure you get the correct orientation of this cover, and that is downwards. You need to tighten the 6 bolts up to 5 newton meters for that. I used a slightly bigger socket, but they're normally 7mm, I believe. Okay, now in particular, this one is very difficult to get at, and you can't really do a torque setting. But I basically use a socket with a screwdriver holding on and a pair of grips. This is where the screwdriver and grips come in. to tighten that up. I couldn't see any other way of getting at it, to be honest. It's a very difficult bolt to get at. Okay, then you have to fit back the coolant expansion tank. There's two rubber grommets here. You push it back into there and tighten up what was a torque. I think it was a torque fitting, but I've changed it to a stainless steel bolt to 10 Newton meters, and plug in the connector for the purge control valve. Finally, you put this Jaguar V8 engine cover back on. You push on these 3 rubber grommets here, and there's 2 fixing points. We just push in, fit the wiring clip for the coolant return, and there should be a small rubber piece that joins the 2 pieces together that you need to make sure is there. And that's it. That's the left-hand side all assembled. I hope that was useful and informative. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more XK videos.